Hey, what's up guys? Griffin Wright here. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about something I've been working on recently on the drums. We're taking the basic rhythm of rudiments and putting a little twist on it. We're actually offsetting it by a 16th note. Typically we start our paradiddles on the 1, just like lots of other beats. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take that normal basic rudiment that we use all the time and move it back 1/16 note to the of 4. So instead of beginning on 1, we're going to start on alright? So the first thing you want to do is get comfortable with the rudiment, if you're not already, normally. On the practice pad or the snare drum, and take that slow, metronome, and go ahead and practice that. And for the sake of this exercise, we're going to put an accent on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on, the beginnings of the paradiddles. It's going to help when we transfer it over to the drum set. So nice and slow, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, right. Okay. Once that's good and comfortable, we're going to go ahead and move that whole thing up to the drum set. Right hand on the hi-hat, left hand on the snare drum. This one works out pretty well because the accents on the snare drum at the beginnings are on beats 2 and beats 4, commonly referred to as a backbeat. So it's almost built in, ready to be a groove. Alright, so once you're comfortable with it by itself on the snare drum or practice pad, go ahead and split your hands up and move it up here. Same speed, start slow, get comfortable. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is equally as important to differentiate between your accents and your ghost notes and give it some shape. Okay. Once that's comfortable, let's get back to the snare drum, back to the practice pad, and we're going to try to shift the rudiment over. Okay. For this example here, I'm going to go ahead and put a bass drum on all 4 beats to show us where the pulse is, and that's going to show the offset. Okay. So it's basically going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. A 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. Now that a 1 is going to be a right-left to get out of it. And we always want to make something a square phrase, shape it up so that it ends on 1. And that's the goal here, okay? No different. We want to trick our listener, but we don't want to derail the band. So if you're going to do something funky, something with an offset 16th note like this, always get back to the 1. We always want to make something that we're doing that could be confusing, clear at the end of it. Always accentuating the 1 is a great idea for anything that you're doing. Cool over the bar line fills included. You know, we need an exit strategy for everything that we're doing. So, let me go ahead and put your quarter note here, and we'll show how this breaks up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to it. All right. Once that's comfortable, again, start very slow with a metronome, making sure that we're hitting those 16ths. It's super important that we're comfortable with the rudiment offset first. Let's move it up to the drums. Okay. Same thing. Right hand here, left hand here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as we're splitting this up, let's go ahead and do a double bass. It's going to help us get out of the fill when we're in a groove. After all that's comfortable, we're going to go ahead and put a groove on it and turn it into the actual fill. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, instead of going right-left like we were to straighten it out, I'm doing a double bass, and that's really helpful because I can go bass, and crash into 1, which actually turns it into a cool fill. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One other element that's really important to note is how I'm getting into this. Okay, I'm actually doubling my right hand after the last 8th note, the 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that's really what we're doing here, and that's important to work out. we can put a space in it, but it's nice to have the congruency. So that might be demonstrated as we speed up a little bit. Let's try it at a faster tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Go ahead and practice those elements nice and slow with a metronome. Feel free to drop me a line if you want to get together. I teach personally out of my studio in North Hollywood. I also do Skype lessons. Either way, would love to stay in touch, and I hope this helps.